Welcome to Garth's intro. Great.
Garth's spotlight.
I think this is Garth's intro now. So let me introduce Ran, and we'll be talking about this adaptation of King Lear, and we'll roll the intro for now. Keep tuned. Alright, for those of those people that did not hear, this is Garth's spotlight, not Garth's intro. But we're here with the Professor, Sam, and the White Zombie. Now, both of these guys have watched a lot of obscure and interesting movies throughout their lifetime. And he has reviewed King Lear. He's read it, he's taught it, he's made people watch this, including us.
You're really making me nervous here. Psyching me up too much.
And then, of course, we have Al. He has seen everything that is obscure, weird, and that's his niche is horror.
Yep.
That was nicer.
Yeah.
I feel like one of those fake, I teach all the time. I'm a real teacher. I teach all. I'm such a professor. Okay.
Yeah. You can get it for $9.99 an hour.
I have 3 PhDs from U of T. Yeah. Anyways,
but
I don't.
Basically, we're going to be talking about Ran, and Ran is made by Akira Kurosawa.
Yes.
Yep.
Directed.
I have been pronouncing this as Kurosaka. I don't know why. It just seems so interesting to put it that way. But to give you a quick recap, he's a pioneer. He has actually brought a lot of the Asian culture and mixed it with a bit of the Western
style of filmmaking.
Yeah. And he's become very well known for being one of the greatest of all time. So that's debatable, but I think he is.
He is one of the greatest of all time. I think that was established fairly early in his career as well, but so many years after his death, he is still among the most influential, most important filmmakers of all time.
And he was very about details. So
yes, that's why he was so great.
So the thing was, he might not be as rich as Spielberg, or you don't hear his name as often, but if you dive deeper into the film or movie universe, you'll see more of his work.
He didn't break box office records, but his movies, I would say, by and large, are genuine works of art.
Yes.
I mean, you can't say, you can only say that about so many films, and Ran is one of those.
This is one of those things like Blade Runner. If you like Blade Runner, it's that slow pace is there, but it's really rich with detail.
Yeah.
Really rich with history too, which is this universe does that. Ran does that 100%. And one of the things I loved about it is the battle sequences. So they were really in depth, and I want to let you go. You had
those battle sequences were quite gruesome and very realistic. There are scenes where it does add to the really long time, but there are scenes where in those battles where the people are running. You see people for a minute where people are just running to get into position, which adds to the realism and to the whole the violence of those wars. This isn't no one guy swinging a sword killing 50,000 people that we see in Hollywood movies all the time. This is real warfare. It's a shogun era, so samurais and guns are one of the main things they use there. So swords, horsemen, they would really, when they shot the horsemen when they shot the people off the horses, that was a really well done scene.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
yes.
This is a drama first and foremost, but the battle sequences are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
They are not heroic. They are grim. They are violent. They are gory.
Kind of matches the tone of King Lear.
Very much so. It captures it. It captures it excellently, in my opinion.
Yes,
yeah. And no real fake blood, no CGI stuff. It gives it more of an oozing, leaking, real world effect.
To give you a concept, it's made in 1985. So there is no CGI screens. There is no Lord of the Ring orcs. This is all props, and it's cosmetics and costume, which was just amazing throughout the...
It may have been, I think, when we were researching for this to prepare, I think it was the most expensive Japanese film ever made at the time.
At the time.
Yeah. And you can see this and be like, yeah.
The way the details of the costumes and the suit of armors, all the way to the prosthetics that were used in the war, you can see the production value into the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was also another big aspect, which was the differences from King Lear. Now, for this one, I'm going to throw it to you. You have the spot.
Well, no, just a few key differences. Obviously, it's changed from England to Japan, and it's 3 sons that... so the main character is Hidetora, Lord Hidetora, who is King Lear. He is giving his kingdom to his 3 sons instead of his 3 daughters. So instead of Goneril, Regan, and Cordelia, we have Taro, Jiro, and Sabaru. Sabaru being Cordelia, the loyal one who gets exiled after he shows his honesty towards the decision to split the kingdom. And that is the main difference. Obviously, the setting as well. But
Japan.
Yeah.
Feudal Japan, if you haven't figured it out at this point.
It still hits all the main notes, though, in terms of King Lear's character and his madness and his descent and his two sons being deceptive.
Yeah, they're culturally different, but not to a point that you can't tell the two apart. I think they did a really good job.
It translates very well. The characters translate from their Japanese feudal era to the King Lear era very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the brutality in this film is far more emphasized, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
The siege of Hidetora, the third castle, by Jiro and Taro's men, does not happen in King Lear. Not like this. This is just brutality. And Hidetora's brutal past as a lord is also emphasized.
Yeah, those battle sequences, those tragedy of war to like a point, you see people with a whole bunch of arrows, a guy missing an arm. They emphasize that, but at the same time, how the king reacted when his castle was literally being sieged is like amazing. He couldn't kill himself off, so he kept on looking for more stuff, and then he put down the sheath, and then he came back to the sheath, and then he was devastated.
And you feel for him. Those scenes like that make you feel for him. And there's a really interesting scene where he goes to his second son's wife, and she says, she bows, and she's like, "Hello, father," and she goes, and he goes, "How can you call me that? I burned down your castle, and I killed your family, and I made you marry my son. How can you actually call me that?" And he's having moments of epiphanies like that throughout the whole film. Scenes like that are just like, so touching, so perfect, so wonderfully acted. Yeah.
This is what gives it to the drama, which was a big part. The huge part of this production was the drama. It is slow paced. It is a little slower to get there, but once you get there, the drama is rich. It's very
much so. Yeah.
There was also Lady Kayade.
Kadi. I say Kadi.
Kadi.
Taro's wife.
Taro's wife, which played a big. I think she was one of the fleshed out characters that you slowly get introduced, but a vital part of the story.
Probably the most interesting character.
The most very fleshed out.
Yeah, and so well acted. So she's so manipulative, and her facial expressions, the way she pulls strings behind the scenes. Yeah, she's a very interesting character.
Why don't you break it down what she did basically to the brothers?
Well, we're going to spoiler territory.
Sort
of, kind of. Yeah. Well, she essentially goes from wanting to be this big like pull the strings behind the brother, be a ruler in a sense, because she was also infected by the Lord Hidetora by being forced to marry the eldest son.
Yeah.
So she wants to basically break down the family.
Yeah.
And when the brother, spoiler, dies, Taro, she essentially goes, "Well, what am I going to do now? Let's marry Jiro."
Yeah.
Let's manipulate the hell out of Jiro.
Let's have him kill his wife and do all this shit. Like it's insane what she does to maintain power.
It's minor spoilers, but if you know King Lear, it's a tragedy. All the main characters die, so it's not really it's not too much of a
Shakespeare kills everyone, so don't expect anything special from that.
Yeah.
So one of the big things I wanted to bring in that scene specific was the reference to a white fox, a demon possessing, and that was like a cultural thing they added in this that I thought was amazing, because if you watch anime or any of that type and you know a little bit of Japanese lore, you understand this creature that possesses these type of people, right? So it's like it's a very interesting concept that they threw in there.
One of Jiro's men calls basically Kadi that, and it's a really good scene.
Yeah,
that's one of the best scenes in the film, I'd say, as well. Serious, but very well humored as well.
Yes.
Who else did we miss in terms of cast?
Kill me, the fool.
The fool,
which plays a great comedic, but realism. He plays a really good fool in this sense, and he talks about the real situations and how foolish they are. So that was a nice touch. Who else are we? The blind guy.
So that's his name is very hard to pronounce. Suranumero. He's basically his King Lear counterpart is Gloucester, who gets blinded. Except in this one, it's Hidetora, King Lear himself, who blinds the Gloucester character, which makes you also again they're like because King Lear does not blind Gloucester in the play. In this version, King Lear is the one who blinds Gloucester. Hidetora blinds him, and that gives you more emphasis into how, in my opinion, the king's brutality is emphasized more in this.
Yes.
His past, even though you feel for him in this film, his past is really brought into light about how ruthless he was as this king.
There's a lot of characters we came over because we had to skim over them because they're so rich in detail.
Oh yeah.
If we did this, it'll be a podcast of about 30 minutes just trying to.
I could spend an hour talking about this one. Yeah.
So
that's great.
In order to wrap it up, I wanted to get your idea of how you thought of it, in terms of a rating system.
Well, I thought the movie itself was very, very well done. The only thing about it, like it's beautifully made, beautifully shot. The drama is there. It follows the story King Lear very well. The only thing is the 2 hour and 42 minute. If you're not ready for that, you're so used to sitting there for an hour and 30 minutes, you're not going to enjoy it. Right. To me, I enjoyed it still, even though I was a little tired at the end of it, and it's a tragedy. I felt like crap at the end. I think it's rated as an A. It's very well done.
If you love Shakespeare and you love Kurosawa, this is the film for you. Given what the film was intending to do, it accomplished that in every which way. It was intending to be a successful, very well acted, very well detailed Shakespearean adaptation set in it's a period Japanese piece, set in a period of Japan, and it does that. It's an A+ for me.
A+. So, oh wow, I would give it an A-. That's what I'm sitting at with it. For the reason that if you're not fully paying attention, you will miss out on half the movie. If you're on a Friday and you're trying to watch this, you will die. If you're tired and you're trying to watch this, you will die. So you got to come with a fresh mindset.
It makes you work.
It makes you work for it.
It makes you think.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things I loved was the props, the battle sequence, and how they actually put culture into this. It's like a nice mixture and a nice shogun story. It's like that era story. I like that samurai movies.
Maybe a little bit after, but yeah, it's still further back.
But it's not Hollywood-ish that it makes you think. That's why I liked it too. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. If you like this, do check out more of our stuff. Subscribe, watch Ren. Let us know what you thought about it, and that's about it. Take care.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, you can check out the next video here. If you're in a daring mood, you can select a random video here.
Welcome to Garth's intro.
Great. Garth's Spotlight.
I think this is Garth's intro now. So let me introduce Ran, and we'll be talking about this adaptation of King Lear. And we'll roll the intro for now. Keep tuned. Alright, for those of those people that did not hear, this is Garth's Spotlight, not Garth's intro. But we're here with the Professor, Sam, and the White Zombie. Now, both of these guys have watched a lot of obscure and interesting movies throughout their lifetime. And he has reviewed King Lear. He's read it, he's taught it, he's made people watch this, including us.
You're really making me nervous here. Psyching me up too much.
And then, of course, we have Al. He has seen everything that is obscure, weird, and that's his niche is horror.
Yep.
That was nicer.
Yeah.
I feel like one of those fake I teach all the time. I'm a real teacher. I teach. I'm such a professor. Okay.
Yeah. You can get him for $9.99 an hour.
I have